Yes.
No,
Yes, 100%.
See,
I will agree with you only to prove that I'm not a debatable person. So I'm going to agree with you. In spite of this, I'm going to agree.
well, Shannon, Allie, it's the difference
Can
between
you
debating.
fucking say Channing? Say Channing.
Yeah, he can't say it.
Can you
Listen,
say Channing? There's a
The
ch.
what? Shut up. Look, it's the difference.
Shut up. Did he just say shut up?
Hey, Allie, it's a difference.
I'm here. Yeah.
It's a difference between debating and hating. Okay, Richard is a hater, and he knows it, right? He's just a hater. Like,
No, but yes. Listen, I am probably, top in categories. I'm like top 2 in like
sure.
five different hating categories. Funniest hater, quickest hater.
Oh yeah.
Like
Most unreasonable.
most unreasonable, that will just argue with you, even not even believing what I'm saying, just for the sake of arguing.
Well, I mean, at least you're a star in your role, though. That's the
that's what I'm saying.
You're a star in your role, and I love it. Like, you embrace that role, and you really do it a great job at it.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate it, because look, as the reigning 2020, hater of the year, right? Like, I'm coming. I'm trying.
Oh, no. There's some other dudes that definitely were.
No, there's some other dudes, but like, there's gonna be some other dudes that gonna like show up and throw out some salt, throw out a little bit of hate. But that's not what we're doing over here.
I have to ask though, because Perk, for someone who has to do it daily with Richard on television, at least Channing gets to do it on a podcast, and he can literally just be like,
I'm on TV now.
well, with Richard, I'm saying.
Oh God, no.
How isn't it like exhausting when you have to debate with him because he thinks he's right no matter what every single time?
No, you know what? It's not, because he's wrong 75% of the time. So when he sets himself up and already be having a comeback for him, I mean, it really.
Allie, and see, this is the thing that, like, Allie, you spent a lot of times with analysts.
Yeah, he cut me off.
Every analyst thinks they're right all the time, or else we wouldn't get into the job of being an analyst. That's why Perk thinks he's right all the time. And if he's wrong, this is where Perk is a master at. If Perk is wrong, he will tell you how they messed up that made him wrong. Oh, I think so-and-so is going to win if they lose. Well, I said they were going to win if they rebounded the ball well, they played defense. They didn't do none of those things that they did. So, like, Perk is inadvertently saying that he is right. They were wrong, and because they made their mistakes, they made him wrong, which is genius.
I mean, that's just breaking down the game. That's breaking down the game. That's not covering up that.
I do got a question, though. I got a question, because I think when we interviewed you, you were just tipping your toes in the thing. And you went from tipping your toes to skinny dipping in the middle of the lake with Jason Voorhees. It's an awful picture, but
I mean, now we really don't want to visualize me skinny dipping anywhere.
We've seen manatees. Don't you live in Florida?
Did you just call Perk a manatee?
Everyone deserves love, Perk. Everyone deserves to be loved.
Listen, you're a work in progress.
Listen.
So, Chang,
stand your ground.
You were at Summer League with Perk. Did you see the chair that they had Perk sitting in?
No, I was there the last 3 days because I'm a rookie and I'm real new. And it was like I'm a wild card. They didn't know what was going to come out my mouth. So they gave me the 6 games that nobody was going to watch.
You talking about you did like the final games, dog?
I wasn't there, RJ, but as usual, you always interrupting. Shannon was asking the question. Can you just call back for a second? It's not all about you, okay?
Dang. Okay.
So, Perk, do you even remember what the question was? If not, I can set you back up.
What was the question?
He wants to know, when you were on the podcast the first time around, you were just dipping your toes in the water, and now you're skinny dipping. In terms of your career.
See, Perk
podcasting, being on this side.
You're doing it.
I thought that was him like dropping bars to set up his question.
No, that was his question.
No,
the question was just like,
did you think you would go from 0 to 100 that quickly?
No, I didn't.
Right? Me either.
And here's why. I caught a lot of criticism when I first started, right? People had to adjust to Big Perk, broken English, country slang, country sayings. You know, people don't understand. I may mumble at times, but they get the hell what I'm talking about. And I think finally, after a lot of repetition and them seeing me on television, that they was like, you know what? Perk is who he is, and he do be speaking facts. And he's gonna speak, he's gonna speak his mind. He's not gonna hold back, and he's gonna stand behind what he believes in. So I just think that it took me a lot of reps, right? I had my ups, I had my downs. And I just kept working on it. Like I would really catch myself in the bathroom, looking in the mirror, prepping on certain things. Especially,
were you fully clothed? Were you clothed?
Why is that? Why is you even worried about that?
He was singing.
Like,
You're so beautiful.
That's like RJ. That's like me asking, do you shower with a shower cap on? You see what I'm saying?
Hang on, Tio. I need a 20-second timeout. Hang on, I need a 20-second timeout. Perk, how long did it take you to think of that?
What?
Richard showering with the shower cap on.
Like 5 seconds.
Well, that's not 5 seconds, but we get what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
5 seconds is this. 1, 2.
It took him like
thanks
2
for
seconds.
clarifying, Channing.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay, Perk. So with that said, we actually reached out to a bunch of our listeners, and we had some questions that were sent in. We're going to handle a lot of them at the end of the podcast, but along these lines that Channing just asked, DJ Hella Yella actually asked, what was one of your biggest misconceptions going into media after your playing career?
That was going to be easy.
Well, first of all, you have to break this down in layman's terms, okay? I didn't go to college, Allie, so you have to.
You didn't?
No, I didn't. You have to break this question down in fluid terms for me. What DJ Yella is trying to say. So, what is he really trying to ask me?
You got it, Rich.
No.
Show that Arizona education. You got it.
No,
he's trying to ask you what was the one thing that when you got into the media surprised you in your transition? What was the thing that surprised you the most? Like, oh, like shit.
You know what? I thought it was just watching the games, going on television, and just talk about what you saw the previous night. And then I've learned, and I've like so many reporters, so many analysts, so many journalists have earned my respect because of the time that they put in. The 5 o'clock production meetings, staying up late, on the computer, doing their homework, whether it's researching stats, numbers, or whatever the case may be. I have a lot more respect for people that are in this industry that grinded to get where they are. So I think that's the one thing that caught me by surprise was the preparation that everyone puts in. That's why I have the utmost respect for every reporter, every journalist that's out there today, because people don't understand. I had to tell someone it's really working like a 9 to 5. And you may only
work 6 hours. Oh, you gonna work 6 hours?
They gonna keep 6 hours.
Oh, you gonna work 6 hours?
It's just like the production meeting is just, and each show is different, right? So I learned that as well. To get up, you got 2 minutes to say what you got to say. Sometimes you may only have 45 seconds. First take, you're gonna debate, but I learned not to throw all your jabs and hooks out there first. That you got to keep some in the chamber to be able to counter what somebody's going to come back at you with, because it's a debate show. On the jump, it's more friendly. You could be outspoken, but if you get on there with RJ, you got to be prepared to go back and forth. Right? So that's like what I learned the most that caught me by surprise. Just I got a whole nother level of respect for all the journalists, reporters, everybody that's in the media industry.
Richard, what is your answer?
Allie and I had talked about at times. It's the cadence. So me and Perk do all of those things, And then, like Perk also has to do like the Sports Center hits. Like I don't do as many Sports Center hits where it's like, give us a quick 30 seconds, or we're going to ask you these 2 questions in 2 minutes, and you're going to do that on multiple Sports Centers. So you add that, and there's a different cadence to everyone. For me, the extra cadence that I have to learn is calling games, which Channing, you got your tone in. And ladies and gentlemen, Allie Clifton called the last 2 Sparks games. So
you, Allie.
yeah, Allie called right?
Pay me my money.
Hey, it was on NBA TV last night. So she's calling national. Okay, Allie. So, but the cadence of calling a game now. And when you're sitting next to, like, when you're doing a studio show, it's all the kind of the same. It's just your seconds. But when you're sitting next to Mike Breen or Ryan Rucco or Mark Jones, like, you got to learn their cadence also. You got to learn when they get in and out, how long you have. And then obviously you have to break down the game in very, very quick bites, commercial breaks, like all that shit. It is so hard. That's why, like, when people always want to, talk trash about, the commentators, I'm like, man, y'all don't understand how much work.
They don't like nobody.
No, they don't like nobody.
They don't like nobody.
Everybody feel like they could do better until they have to get in front of that TV, that camera, right?
Yeah.
And even like I got a lot of love for doing a draft show, and then some people hate it. Like some people in the industry, like a guy by the name of Jeff Goodman, right?
Jeff Goodman's trash. You know who Jeff Goodman is?
Who?
That was the guy that tried to chime in on the Lute Olson situation.
Yeah, like he's a damn hater, right? And what he didn't realize is that he tried to come at me sideways about the draft. But what he didn't realize, all he does is focus on college kids, high school kids, and that's his thing, is the draft. Well, I went straight from the finals to having a week to prep for all these, guys, these draft prospects.
100 kids, yeah. 100 kids,
get ready for the draft. So that's a 6-hour show. I mean, this is my first time. I'm up there with Jay Billis. I'm up there with Mike Smith, that's been around the world. That's what he do for a living. So it's kind of like, all right, I had limited time, but it's just so many people think that they could do what we do until the camera actually get in their face.
Well, the last thing, real quick, Allie, the last thing that I'll say is that your job on there was to talk about what team they got drafted. So your job was to talk about how they were going to transition to their team. Your job wasn't to talk about college and really the college kids. It's more like,
stinks. I don't care.
It's like, so-and-so. Yeah, I don't watch JV unless it's my college, unless it's a great game, or unless it's the NCAA tournament. That's the only time I'm watching the JV.
Yeah.
I also would argue that the one thing that all three of you share, and it's a part of the transition that I think we're in naturally with media, sports media, for what we all are holding a place in, is one, you guys do not grow into the positions and the spaces that you have at the rate that you have if you don't have something special and unique about you. And the one thing that I think you guys provide that we haven't seen enough of in this space is the entertainment value. And so you talk about the draft show, Perk, and you're being surrounded by those that have studied the college game inside and out, and they've done it for years. You talk about the preparation, something that you will never short, but there's also an element to you that you provide that maybe they don't at the clip that you do, and that's the entertainment. And I think all three of you have done such a good job because it's something that we need. And it's something that I think this generation, the younger generation, wants and craves. And so I think there's something to that that's powerful. With that said, how hard is it to balance? Because you want to be taken serious, but in the same breath, there is a side to you guys that's just natural, and that's to have fun and to entertain.
Well, I think it's not that hard for me. I mean, seriously, I mean, whatever. I really don't give a damn. Like, so I'm gonna say what I say. I may, like I said, speak with broken English or whatever the case may be. I may crack a joke. It may be corny or it may be funny. It's a hit miss. No, it's very funny. You just mad you don't have.
I am the funniest one.
You don't have Richism. I have Perkism. I have bars. Like right
Bars
now,
for days.
in the pot on you. But here's the thing, right? This is the thing, Allie, that I feel like with us three on here, as far as Richard and Stan and former players, right? None of us are Hall of Famers, okay?
Hell no.
And walking into the media, Hall of Famers, when they finish their career, they get the red carpet rolled out for them, right? Like they get the big platform, they get the big payday just because of their basketball resume. And I think right now, what we're doing is we're showing the next generation or the younger group that's coming up under us that you don't have to have a Hall of Fame career, or you don't have to be a franchise player to be able to come into the media and be successful at the same level of the other guys. Because some of the guys that had Hall of Fame careers are not good on TV. I'm not going to call out their name, but I just think we're paving a way for others to come in and say, you know what? I could come on here, I could be myself. I don't have to do this. I could be myself, and I don't have to have this type of resume in the NBA to be successful in the media game.
Can I say this? Some of the best people to listen to when it comes to sports are the people that have been through every situation. They've started, they've won, they've lost, they've got DMPs, they got hurt. They're empathetic to every situation. And so but there's a sense of humility, right? So when I was doing my games, obviously I'm cracking jokes 90% of the time because basketball is fun. And at the end of the day, I can only talk. If I was on the bench, how I'm talking is exactly, without the cuss words, how I would talk on the bench. So if you're on my team, I remember, I think yesterday they shot 6 air balls. I was like, I'm thinking in my mind, damn, are we having an earthquake? What's up with these kids? But it's funny. You're playing in an NBA game for your life, right? These kids are getting their opportunity and they're shooting up air balls. And so I know what they're thinking because I've been there. You've been there. Rich has been there. So I'm trying to make it lighthearted. So it's not as serious as you think. Even though you missed one, you got 18 points already. You just shot a whatever shot. And so for me, it's when you look at this game and when you look at who is the best to listen to, it's somebody that relates to the 15th guy, the coach, understanding the big picture and understanding what the superstar is trying to do with the role players and the young guys. And just, you want to see the whole picture. Right. You don't want somebody to say, well, shoot it every time. What the fuck? That don't work. That don't work.
But also, Allie, for instance, Allie just called a game. Allie, how much prep did you have for your?
I was just about to ask it.
Yeah, how much prep did you have to do for these 2 games? And knowing that you cover the WNBA, but you don't cover the WNBA as well as you cover, as much as you cover the NBA. It's like Perk watches college basketball, but he doesn't deep dive into it.
It's like Perk working out. He worked out. He don't work out. He don't work out. Richard is a 1, I'm a 5, Perk is a 10.
Well, I will say this, my motto with anything that I do is that lack of preparation will not be the reason why I fail. Oh. So I will prepare, I will over prepare. And half the time, as you guys know, calling games, you don't even use 90%. You'll use about 10% of the actual preparation, the numbers, stats, etc. I will say when the W started, what?
No, go ahead. Sorry,
when the W started this season, I knew that I wasn't coming on board until after the Olympic break. But you still have to dial in. You have to watch the games, right? That's the familiarity. Well, I knew that my first game was the first 3 after the Olympic break. I have been to Glendale for the first time in my life. I have sat in traffic just to get to practice. I have been to Staples 9 times in the last 4 days. On the call with Coach Fish. I've been on the call with the Dream head coach. You talk to the opposing. All I've done this week is Sparks. This is the first break that I've got. Now, granted, I have Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. It is a lot. But as all of us know, there is nothing worse than being put in a position on live television and not being prepared, not knowing where to go next, not having an answer. That anxiety, respect, I say this with the utmost respect to anxiety and those. That is
No,
that is
no.
what will get you kicked out of this profession. That's within.
Matt Weiner is the best because like summer league, especially the last 3 days, they be getting people about the street to come hoop. So like their list, they were like, we had to ask the media people who's playing on this list. They were like, no. Add these guys. We're like, we don't even know where these guys come from. So it's like, obviously the NBA is not like that, but summer league is like, hey, some game somebody hurt, we gotta go scoop somebody up from Lithuania, and he just gonna have to play 48 minutes tonight. And it's just like, but it is.
What'd you think of it, Channing? It was your first time calling games. Something that I found it early in my like the first contract I signed was with the Yes Network to call games and do some stuff. What'd you think of it? Like, now again, you were in Vegas. Now imagine showing up an hour before the game, 90 minutes before the game, sitting down, doing your kind of prep, your work, calling the game, and then walking out as soon as that game is over.
It was nice. That was nice. But I had to do back-to-backs.
Yeah.
So that was tough. My butt hurt and my hips were tight. I got tight hips. I'll be doing Peloton. Shout out Peloton. Give me a sponsor. So, okay, good. The great thing about it was when you're in the studio, you see like a helicopter view of what's going on. You see the big picture. You're looking at other games. When you're in the game, dude, something clicks.
Mm-hmm.
You're there where you're like smelling the popcorn. You're hearing people, somebody's mama behind you. That's right, baby. Get his ass. Get his ass. They yelling and shit, like you feel all that like kind of the energy. You can kind of, I don't know what Richard go. And then
I'm here. My computer's.
No, so for me, I love that and seeing all the people that I haven't seen before, and since I retired was pretty amazing. Seeing all my ex-teammates, like coaches, GMs, like everything. You're like, damn. And so for me, when I call the game, I try to call it fair, but I also try to call it in a sense of what I want to do is basketball should be fun. And players, I think nowadays, and I'll probably get roasted for this, I think are a little too sensitive about what we say in the moment, right? So if I say that's a trash shot right now, there people think that I'm saying he's a trash player. I've won a championship. I played with 1A, 1B, greatest player of all time. I played with 12-something Hall of Famers. I know what good basketball is supposed to be. I may not be a Hall of Famer. I know what good basketball is supposed to look like. I may not be right all the time. So when I tried to do it, I was trying to show the people who are listening the good plays. And so like last night, the Pelicans, I don't know what, they must have had extra spicy gumbo. These were some dogs. And you, Perk, if you would have watched them last night versus the Timberwolves, they were up 30, picking up full court, and their whole team was clapping for it. I didn't see that any other game. So that's a culture builder that I'm like, as a player, how can that transfer over to the real like NBA? And I'm excited to see that. So like, let's watch that. I don't care about the score. You got guys that are 15, 16, 17 on the bench in summer league, picking up your 1A, 1B guys, and for the Minnesota Timberwolves, making it hell for them, and everyone is supporting them. So that's a culture thing that like gets me more excited than the actual game, that I want people to see more than, oh, well, he did a 6 dribble move and shot a step back. Well, guess what? 18 on the clock, bad shot.
Well,
Tell him, Channing.
can I say this right to the first question? I want to say this. The hardest thing for me when I first started in the media to where I'm at now is that you get caught up in the moment of not want to step on anybody's toes, right? They call it, quote unquote, the NBA brotherhood. But what I found out is this. If you get caught trying to be that guy that don't want to speak your mind or don't speak on what you see, then you're going to have a short career in the media. So right now, like I love it when people say, "Oh, this is Kendrick, NBA champion Kendrick Perkins," but like to me, basketball is in the past. Now I'm actually an NBA analyst, right? So I would rather be called that because I actually take my job very seriously.
I mean, your
So
chip is a lot older than ours. Ours is still fresh, though. So
I get it.
you got a crusty ass ring. Your ring,
He's like,
your ring
like,
is a
like,
Prius.
Ours still smells like champagne. Like yours smells like rust.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly
rust
fine.
and
But I guarantee you, I can go sell mine for more in Boston than y'all can sell y'all's. Okay.
Stop it. Yeah. I'll let you finish, but that cap.
Look, no, that's not cap. But look,
Is that what the kids say? Cap front set ass.
So I had to come to the conclusion that, you know what? Look, if I lose friends behind basketball talk or something that I've said on TV about moves that were made or plays that were made or guys playing bad or whatever the case may be, then they wasn't my friend anyway, because a real friend would know that I have a job to do. And so certain times when I like going to summer league, I'm walking into the gym and I know it's certain general managers, certain coaches that I done said things about that's probably looking at me sideways. But I didn't get that effect. I didn't get that. Like it's times that I done said stuff about David Griffin with the New Orleans Pelicans. I didn't like the hire of Stan Van Gundy, right? I seen Griff at Summer League, and the energy was still the same like when I was on the Cavs roster. So he understood. Same with Kobe Altman. Same with other guys that I saw around. Like they were like, "Perk, man, we love you on TV." And I'm like, you didn't hear what I said about you?
Go on, Perk. I was gonna just follow up for you.
And so I just realized that I'm like, you know what? This is what I do. And at the end of the day, your real partners know that this is your job, and your partners. Partners. Can you say that? Can you say that? Partners, not partners. Partners.
No, Channing and I both enunciate.
Okay, I shame
you. Partners.
Perk, how much do you? Because you are one of those that you do not hold back. You're one of those that does not hold back. You speak what you feel, and sometimes takes may seem harsher than others. Do you have open lines of communications with players, coaches, GMs? Like, are you making those phone calls? Are you interacting with them before, maybe not before or after, whenever it may come?
I do. And look, like I'm still cool with like 99% of the people that I work with, for as general managers, players that I play with, coaches, or whatever the case may be. There's only one guy that really had a problem with me that I played with, and his name Kevin Durant. Everybody else been pretty damn cool with how I've been going about my career. Like I done said things about Sam Presti, right? Me and Sam Presti still have conversations. Like a lot of people understand what's going on. I done said things about Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge calls me every single day. And when I say every single day, I literally mean every single day. We'd be
checking on your cholesterol?
What you said?
Don't pay attention. No, but I do the same thing with Budenholzer. So like Budenholzer. So we've all been very critical of my guy Bud. But like Bud is an Arizona.
Absolutely.
He's an Arizona guy. He's from Holbrook. Yeah, he's from Holbrook. He used to coach at Lute Olson basketball camp. He used to coach at like Lute Olson basketball camp like when he was super, super young. His dad is in the Arizona Hall of Fame for like from Holbrook. So when I got to the Spurs, like Bud was somebody like gravitated towards each other and just awesome. So then like all of a sudden it's like, dude, this dude has my college roots. He's got my state roots. Like I loved him in San Antonio as an assistant coach. He's a great dude. He gets to the Bucks after he had a great career. And they were like, look, Bud is a great coach. The problem was like in the postseason, there were times that he would run into LeBron James and he was running into some other people and he would lose. Channing Frye. But point being is we were super critical of him. Like, there might have been rumors of the dumbest team in basketball and all this other stuff that was going on. Yeah. And I see him in the hallway.
They were.
No, but I'm saying I see him in the hallway at the Pfister when they had 2 wins, and I see him, and I'm like, but he comes up and like chest bumps me. He like chest bumps me. He's like, and I'm like we're like hyped, like we just won a game, like we were like on the same staff. I'm like, dude, 2 more games, man, 2 more games. Because like ultimately, as an individual, I'm rooting for him because I know him, right? It's not like I'm rooting for the Bucks. It's like, dude, I'm saying the same thing to Jay Crowder, like, dude, come on, Jay, let's get this done. So it's
Straddling as usual.
No, it's not about straddling the fence. It's just rooting for people. Like I don't have a horse in the race, but if I mess with Bud, I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you. Hey, Jay, you were a great teammate on multiple teams. I'm rooting for you, dog. I don't have I don't win. So you root for people, and when they win, good for them. But you have to be able to separate it. And that's why I don't mind being known as a hater. I don't, because everyone knows that either what's going to come out of my mouth will either be facts, sarcasm, or hate. That's all or a joke. Those are the only 4 languages that I speak. And so he's just hating. Good. As long as you know I'm just hating and talking shit, then we're going to be fine.
I love this talk, but I also want to talk hoops with you guys. And we have a question, so I think we'll use this to dive into it. LA LeBron 23 said, since Kendrick Perkins, which you have to remind me of this part, was a teammate of LeBron, right? AD. Were you a teammate of AD's?
Yep, with the Pelicans for 1 year.
Damn, how many teams you play with?
Damn, come on, Allie, that's my vibe.
I played with,
I just cared when he was in Cleveland and I was there because that
I
was
only played with 4 teams.
Oh, really?
No way.
Boston, Cleveland, Pelicans, Thunder.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Anyways.
Damn.
Talk about preparation. Good job, Allie. Okay, so since you were a teammate of LeBron, AD, and Russ at one point in your career, what does he see in them that makes him believe they will work out as a big 3?
Well, one, I went to the finals 2 times with LeBron James, so I know what he's capable of doing. I also went to the finals with Russell Westbrook, right? So as a youngster, and I watched Russell Westbrook sacrifice. I watched Russell Westbrook in big moments knock down shots when people said he couldn't shoot, or come up with big plays, or outplay Tony Parker, or outplay CP3 in the series. So I have trust in Russ. And when it comes down to Anthony Davis, when healthy, he's a general.
That's a big what? I mean,
it's not a big what, because when they won it, he was healthy, right?
We're in a bubble.
It don't matter, Shannon, like he was healthy. So when healthy, he's one of one, a generational talent, right?
Yes.
Like a guy that could dominate on both ends of the floor. And I feel like, as far as it goes with Russell Westbrook, he's at a point of his career where the only thing that he needs to do is win a championship. And I feel like going team up with LeBron, going over there with Anthony Davis, I feel like Russell Westbrook will let his pride go, and he will do the necessary things just to win. And we have to go back and look. Just think about this. When he was with the Houston Rockets, right? And the Houston Rockets at one point were playing arguably the best basketball in the NBA when they traded Clint Capella. Russell Westbrook was dominating in the paint so bad that he was putting up Shaq-type numbers. Russell Westbrook tore his quad muscle. He shouldn't have even been playing in the playoffs. But what I'm saying was, people thought that Russ and James wasn't going to work out because they both ball dominant, right? But Russ found a way to make it work. And I just look at Russ' situation in particular. He's going to sacrifice. He's going to play with a chip on his shoulder. He's back in LA in his hometown. He wants to win a championship. He wants to prove that, okay, y'all said I didn't get it done with Kevin Durant, but let me show you that I can get it done with LeBron James.
Ooh, you think he really hangs on to that?
Oh, Russ?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Russ is one of those guys that he remembers everything. Like, You remember when Damian Lillard waved by to him? It was a whole year later. He was in Houston, and he waited for Dame in a regular season game, and he went to work on Dame in the Portland Trail Blazers. And he said after the game, wave by to that shit. So
yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter. I don't care. You know, well, listen, we both know the truth. Yes, we are glad that Russell, like, this is separate from your point, but like, Russ, I don't care how many times you cook him in the regular season. What Dame did was one of the coldest, most cold-blooded things we've ever seen. But so, yeah.
I'm not knocking
Yeah,
that.
no, I know. I'm
point.
just more just saying, like, you didn't really get him back though, Russ.
Yeah, but if you pull up their numbers side by side, their head-to-head matchup in their career.
Oh, I'm not saying that like
Are we gonna pull up stats? Are we gonna pull up one of the greatest shots in playoff history? Bye. Stop it, Perky Lurky. Don't do this. Also, I was listening to you. I don't agree with you. I love Braun. I love AD. I like Melo. I like Russell Westbrook. It is 2021. No, there's not enough balls to go around. Oh,
Channing, we're gonna disagree because I disagree.
Channing, I don't know.
But listen. Have you guys watched?
I don't know if you're drinking wine. I don't know if you're drinking MD 2020. I don't even know if you're drinking moonshine right now. But please rethink before you talk. Okay, think this over before you. Now, you wanted to start this over again?
No, I don't.
Okay, so it's 2021, and it's
2021.
And it's not enough basketball.
Let's talk about the three best teams during the regular season. We'll just talk the regular season. Yes or no?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Now, I mean, you're already gonna say no. That's in the playoffs. It's a big what if. This old ass team has to make it 82 games to the playoffs.
Oh, I don't think. See, okay, Chang. Like, my thing is this: 82 games, it doesn't matter for this team. Respectfully, I know people tried to say it last year about the Lakers just get to the playoffs healthy, right? Well, they didn't. They weren't able to get to the postseason healthy. Not a lot of teams were. So I think that the 82 games, I think they'll get through the 82 games. They're going to get through the 82 games. It's can they get to the end of it healthy, one. And
are they going to be a top 4 team in the West?
Yeah, I think if they're healthy, but this again, that's been so much that Channing, let's rephrase this.
I don't think they're a top
okay. No. I'm saying let's say it this way. Let's assume health for every team.
Oh, health for every team. This team wins a championship.
Well, they're not better than Brooklyn, but yeah, we'll argue that point. They're not better than Brooklyn, but
okay,
that's what I'm saying. So, Channing,
argue that.
If we're gonna say you're just saying that you don't think they will be healthy because if they are healthy, they're the best team.
I don't think they are built. I think defensively they'll be good. I think their floor spacing is going to be crappy. I think if you look at the what do you mean the floor spacing, Perk?
Floor spacing,
big man.
bro. Floor spacing is so overrated. Yeah, yes, it is. It is so overrated, and we just keep spending.
Perk, how is it overrated?
Listen, let me tell you.
Look at the team who won a championship. Look at the last 10 teams that won a championship.
The Milwaukee
Bucks. Best floor spacing in the NBA.
The Milwaukee Bucks just won a championship, and PJ Tucker, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton was hitting the ball so hard off the side of the glass, I started ducking from my hotel room. Look,
were they in the right spot? I'm not talking about they need to make it.
Listen,
he's always in it. No, come on. Floor spacing is more important than making the shot.
Oh, okay, Perk, go.
Perk. I'll let you go. Come on, go ahead. I'll let you go. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm a Turner guy.
Listen,
I'm not going to argue with you.
Fry. When you think about the guys that get paid the big bucks, that's the guys that take you home when it matters. Okay. When it comes down to a possession by possession game, the guys that get paid the big bucks are going to take you home. So when you look at a guy like Giannis, when Drew Holiday in Game 6, Chris Middleton, PJ Tucker, none of those guys were nowhere to be found. Who took them home? Giannis took them home. They have a player in the law with the Lakers that could possibly do that in Anthony Davis. Like everybody keeps saying that he's old, but let's not act like Anthony Davis can't put up a stat line of 40, 20, 5, and 5 steals and dominate both ends of the floor. Let's not act like we haven't witnessed Anthony Davis do those type of numbers when they won their last championship. Russell Westbrook is only 32.
Mhm.
He still have
Anthony
Yeah,
Davis, by the way, is one of the
agree.
4 youngest on the Lakers.
So can I say this? Stylistically, is maybe what my point is. Russell Westbrook was on the fastest team in the NBA last year. They were top 5 in points, Washington Wizards. They were the worst defensively. So they said, score your points so we can score ours. You could check that stat. It may be right or wrong, but that's what I think.
He was playing with 4 G leaguers that nobody wanted.
So, okay. Here's my point.
And he still
Russell Westbrook needs to play on a fast-paced team.
That is
in the Lakers. What?
That is.
Does he not?
No,
it's not true.
That is not true.
Guys.
Russell
No, wait. Really quickly. The pace that Russell likes to play at, which I think will actually help take some of the pressure off LeBron, who at times can be a one-man fast break. It'll take the pressure off. And this is one thing that where I had talked about it a ton, that I thought that the Lakers, if they would have gone the Schroeder, KCP, bring everybody back route, which they had a very good team. They had a very, very good team. You know, if not for injuries to Bron and AD, that was a team that basically won the championship the year before, minus, you know, some of the bigs like Dwight and JaVale. Point being is this. LeBron can't carry you for 82 games in a postseason. He needs help. Fair. Anthony Davis can't carry you because he's always broken down. You bring in Russell Westbrook, if healthy, then when Bron needs to take a break, you got Russell and AD. When AD needs to take a break, you got Bron and Russell. When Russell needs to take a break, so that's why I'm assuming that.
When has Russell ever asked to take a break though? Like his motor don't work like that.
No,
he do.
I'm talking about if you spring.
I know he does.
That goes to show that you haven't been watching the Wizards. That you didn't watch the Wizards play.
The Wizards were one of my favorite teams to watch last year. You better stop it.
Well, it should have known that him and Scott Brooks had the relationship that Russell Westbrook would come out 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. He would play the next 8 minutes in the second quarter, and he would rest for 2 minutes, and he would come back the last.
How the hell do you know this shit?
It's the same rotation as Dirk.
Does work. Are the Lakers, if healthy, the team to beat? Are they the favorites?
Yeah.
Oh,
of the entire NBA?
It's Brooklyn and the Lakers. Brooklyn is one.
But who's the favorite when it comes to the two of them?
I mean,
Brooklyn.
If they're both, if health is like this, y'all tripping.
Perk, you just said it. You find it hard to believe that someone could beat the Lakers in a 7-game series. You just said it the other day.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you on that yak tonight. I don't know. I'm on wine. You on the yak.
Okay. So Perk has been very vocal. He has stated why and his take on the Lakers, whether it's here or socially. You guys are just sitting here saying, no, you're crazy, you're yak, you're both.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's crazy.
They're not saying that the Nets have got better at the center position. They're not saying none of this. Like, Dwight Howard is still the best backup big in the NBA. Dwight Howard is still one of the Dwight Howard is still one of the most athletic bigs in the NBA. Still today, at the age of 30, are you arguing that?
The Brooklyn Nets, with all due respect, and I love the addition of Patty Mills off the bench because Patty Mills is like a better version of Malik Monk, right? So let's just talk about that. And I like
put that shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah.
All day.
But my thing when you're talking about the Brooklyn Nets and what they have gone is they've gone extremely hard into shooting, right? Like that's what they're doing. They got Joe Harris. Then you bring him. I know Joe Harris didn't hit, but like you can't just judge somebody purely off that. Joe Harris still creates space for those guys to go to work, right? The problem is that they needed him to hit shots because so many guys were hurt. If he isn't hurt, if so many guys aren't hurt, then you don't need Joe Harris to hit as many shots as you needed him for them to be successful. And he didn't. Joe Harris did not deliver. I'm not here to look. That's not the argument here. But at the end of the day, that man still creates space. He's led the league in 3-point percentage 2 of the last 3 years. He creates space. Point being is, you're not leaving to go help on James Harden and leaving Joe Harris. You're not leaving to go help on.
They did.
They did because there was no Kyrie and James Harden couldn't move.
I'm just saying, they left Joe Harris wide open and wasn't contesting his shots.
That's not good. No, he hit some. He missed some open shots, but they weren't like not rotating the Joe Harris perk. Come on now.
Get lucky. Don't do that. Don't do
Perk,
that.
you're our guest. We're gonna take a quick break, but before we do, you get the final word on this.
I just want to know, right? When Russell Westbrook and LeBron James start imposing their will on the low block, who in the hell is going to stop them? Along with Anthony Davis. See, here's the problem. Nobody we keep talking about how much firepower, the spacing and all that, but who in the hell is going to stop Anthony Davis? Please, somebody tell me that.
I get nervous when you tell me that Anthony Davis has to be the best player on the court in order for that team to win the championship. Because I agree with you. This is where I'll concede to Perk. If Anthony Davis plays, we all remember like probably 3-4 games into that finals, people were like, shit, Anthony Davis looks like he's going to win finals MVP, right? Yes. Everybody remembers that. And that's why the Lakers were dominant, because Anthony Davis was playing like the best player in the series. Not LeBron, not Jimmy Butler, not Bam. It was Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis plays, mind you, Bam was hurt too. If Anthony Davis plays like the best player or plays like a top 3 player in that series, the Nets don't have an answer. The Nets don't have an answer for Anthony Davis. Like they don't, like unless they just shoot the lights off. But that being said, Perk, I don't feel like I can count on Anthony Davis being a top 3 player in the world in the NBA Finals when the moment is needed the most.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, Allie. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Just know.
You better not be addressing me and talking to Allie.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay,
look at me. Talk to him.
Anthony Davis.
Listen to me. Talk.
Anthony Davis.
Look.
Allie,
Anthony, hang on. I cannot hear what he's saying. Anthony Davis, what?
He doesn't say a lot. He don't talk noise. You